Hi, this is John, and welcome to another edition of Statistics Tell a Story. Last week I was 3-2 in my poll, 2-1 in my bets. So without further ado, here are my week two picks. The Jets are getting 6.5, hosting the Bills. The Jets, actually, at the beginning of the season, with my over-unders, I mentioned that they were kind of my Cinderella sleeper team. I put a few dollars on them to win the Super Bowl at 200 to 1 odds. Starting off with a loss doesn't help those things, but they did actually look pretty good against the Jets, excuse me, against the Steelers. They scored more than 30 points. Of course, you could argue that their defense didn't look so good, but I do like what Aaron Glenn is doing in New York. They are hosting the Bills, who are fresh off a thrilling Sunday night victory over the Ravens, which actually set quite a few records, but that's kind of beside the point. But so I think that the Bills may be in for a little bit of a letdown. Again, I like this Jets team at the beginning of the year. Not that I think they're going to win 11 or 12 games, but I think they may be more competitive than anticipated. Their offensive line looks pretty good. Justin Fields might be decent, which would be better than what most people are expecting. And so I think they will keep it close. They're getting 6.5 points, and I like them. The Chiefs in a rematch against the Eagles, getting 1.5 points. I like them. Again, there is a little bit of a trend where if an 0-1 team plays a 1-0 team in week two, it's something like 55% over the past couple decades. But you have Mahomes as an underdog, and although I don't do much in the way of rematches or revenge games. This one's a little bit different. The Chiefs have probably had this on their minds since their Super Bowl blowout loss. And conversely, you have the Eagles who lost some players on defense. And of course, anytime you win the Super Bowl, there's always the possibility of a Super Bowl hangover. And so I look for the Chiefs actually to bounce back, not start 0-2, and to upset the Eagles. They're getting a point and a half. Houston's laying 2.5 Monday night, hosting Tampa. Again, you have an 0-1 team playing a 1-0 team. Tampa's kind of banged up, although Houston is banged up on their offensive line. Tampa still has, I think, their top two receivers. Um, well, McMillan is out and Godwin is out. Not that they're necessarily their top two. They do have that rookie receiver who actually had a decent game last week, but they have some other injuries. And I'm not sure that Tampa is quite as good as they may appear to be. I've just always liked Houston and D'Amico Ryans. Their defense is very good. I don't think they'll start 0-2. I like them at home, laying 2.5 points. The other game is New England getting a point and a half against Miami. Mike McDaniel was the favorite to be the first coach fired at the beginning of the year. The first game against the Colts, where the Colts scored all seven possessions, didn't do anything to change that. I haven't looked at the updated odds, but well, actually, I did look for it. I couldn't find anything. Maybe they think McDaniel's a shoe-in. Well, I'm going to go out on the limb and predict that New England soundly beats Miami week two, and McDaniel is fired after week two. I think they are in such disarray. I generally don't like to make a bet. I hate to say solely, but it is almost solely against a particular team in disarray. But those were the vibes that during the preseason and certainly have carried over through week one. I like Mike Vrabel after a loss. New England didn't look very good against the Raiders. So I like the Patriots getting a point and a half there. They're actually getting 2.5 right now at some books, minus 115. So that is what you can grab it at. That's what I'll grade it at. My fifth pick, which I'm not betting, but in my contest, is that the Falcons are getting 5.5. That's actually not quite what you can get if you would bet them. I think they're getting 3.5. So I don't like this so much. They're my fifth pick. I have to throw in a fifth pick, but I do like them. I think it's too many points. in this case for a decent Falcon team. I don't know about JJ McCarthy either. He had three bad quarters. He's still a virtual rookie, and he may have a little bit of a letdown here in week two. So those are my selections. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time on Statistics Tell a Story. Thank you.